You're listening to Sox in the Basement, a production of the Broadcast Basement Limited, where every show is 30 minutes of good and comes from a basement bar on the south side of Chicago. Pull up a stool, pour a cold one, and join us right now for Sox in the Basement. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at soxinthebasement.com. Welcome into Sox in the Basement. My name is Chris Lanuti. You're in the podcast for fans, by fans, brought to you by Cork and Kerry at the Park. 33rd and Princeton, they're now open. Go over there, grab a beer, get an award-winning burger, maybe some great appetizers, the pulled pork nachos. Sit back, enjoy a game, listening to Sox in the Basement and the 2020 simulated season using MLB The Show 20. And then afterwards, go home, relax, and look at SoxOn35th.com and get the post-game wrap-up. All of that is available to you and has been there ever since opening day from the podcast for fans, by fans, Sox in the Basement. And if you can't get over there, remember Grubhub or corkandcarryatthepark.com. As for the White Sox, we are in kind of a rut. 45-31, only 14 games over 500. We've lost 7 of our last 10 and currently sit on a 3-game losing streak after dropping the first game yesterday of a 3-game set this weekend against the Cleveland Indians. The starting pitching has been atrocious. With the exception of Reynaldo Lopez, nobody has thrown a quality start in almost 2 weeks. But all is not lost. It isn't like this team can't pitch. In fact, Gio Gonzalez has only got 1 loss this season. He's 8-1 with a 1.17 whip. Reynaldo Lopez has got a 1.20 whip, even though he's 4-4. Coming out of the pen, Michael Kopech's down to a 1.24 whip. Lucas Giolito's 6-5 with a 1.34, and Dylan Cease is 5-4 with a 1.37. But Dallas Keuchel, today's starter, the whip is at 1.40, and he needs to start performing after being a big free agent acquisition for this team. He gets a chance today in Cleveland. The Sox are only 19-20 on the road. It's time to start to figure out how to win away from home. We head out now to Progressive Field. Sox in the Basement, found everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at soxinthebasement.com. And here we go. Back to Cleveland for Game 2 of this set, and the White Sox looking to figure out what they lost over the last 10 days. 45-31, facing the 47-30 Cleveland Indians. We're in third, they're in second currently. And let's get this game underway. Carlos Carrasco, 15 starts, 5-5 record, 1.12 whip, and an ERA of 3.72. 92 innings pitched. He struck out 94. Carrasco had an incredible game against the Sox the last time we saw him, but we were able to get to him late. Tim Anderson, hitting .320, coming off a really rough game at the plate yesterday. Leads off again today, and an inside 4-seamer taken for a strike, and we're underway. 0-1 the count. Overcast skies today. Anderson takes the next one low and away, a 4-seamer, 1-1, 76 degrees. Winds 8 mile an hour blowing in from center field. Sox haven't hit a lot out over the last couple of days, so maybe that benefits them if we get into a small ball game. 1-1 the count. The pitch from Carrasco, a high 4-seamer, misses, 2-1. Anderson had a very tough day yesterday, left a lot of guys on. He had the bases loaded early in the game with 2 outs, flew out. 2 men on, second and third, 2 outs, flew out. In the 9th inning, during a comeback that fell short, runner on second, and a weak ground out. He walks here on an outside changeup, and he'll go down to first base. So good speed on board. And here comes Leury Garcia. He's playing left today after playing center yesterday. Eloy Jimenez getting the day off. He's hitting .289 with 5 home runs. And he's in the 2 spot in the order for the second day in a row. Standing in the left-handed batter's box. Carrasco delivers, and he fouls off a 2-seamer, 0-1 the count. He's 5 for 14 lifetime against Carrasco, with a couple of doubles. Anderson with a solid lead over at first base, always a threat to go. Outside pitch checked up, called a strike, 0-2. So Garcia in the hole, 0-2 right away, with Moncada on deck. Carrasco checks the runner and delivers. Outside slider taken for strike 3, and Garcia has a bad at bat there. He's down on 3 pitches, and 2 of those he didn't even swing at. So Leury, who's been hot lately, looks cold there. And there's 1 gone for Yoan Moncada. Yo-Yo in the left batter's box against the righty. First pitch is high for a ball, 1-0 the count on a 2-seam fastball. Carrasco checks Anderson, looks back. Now TA takes off. Bad jump, throw down. He is safe under the tag. It was a good throw. It was a bad swipe. TA gets in with a head-first slide. He steals it. It was also a ball to Moncada. He's 2-0 in the count with a runner on second now. Next pitch is low, a slider, 3-0 with Grandal on deck, hitting .302. Anderson with a good lead at second. Carrasco looks back. Now he's going to come forward. Second look, and he delivers. Inside pitch, called a strike. Up in the zone. Eric Summergill is your home plate umpire today. Carrasco's got a 3-1 count now he's working on towards Moncada. Moncada hitting .331, leads this team. He's up in the top 5 in the American League in batting average. Swings and misses at an outside changeup he was way out in front of. 3-2 the count now. Count is full with the runner on second and 1 out. Inside pitch. He hits it off the inside portion of the bat. It's going to get over the shortstop's head. Lindor. Anderson held up. He wasn't sure if he was going to be able to make the play. A duck snort base hit. Runners at first and second. As he almost made that play, left fielder's running in, shortstop running back. Drops right in between them. It was so shallow there's nothing that TA can do, so he's going to hold at second base. Here comes Grandal, sitting on 20 home runs, hitting .302. Fouls off the first pitch. 0-1 the count. 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Sox have 2 base runners on against Carlos Carrasco. Next offering outside, taken for a ball, 1-1. Anderson has 28 stolen bases on the season. Inside pitch sent out to left center field. It will be caught on the run. Anderson does not advance. There's 2 gone. So 2 batters in a row were jammed. Moncada's fell in. Not Grandal's. Here comes Jose Abreu. .272 average, 12 homers, 51 RBI. He steps in with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Batting in the 5 spot for the second straight day after years in the 2 spot. First pitch outside corner misses, 1-0 the count. Mentioned Tim Anderson's stolen base total, 84.8%. That's his success rate. Outside pitch catches a corner, a changeup, 1-1. Abreu is yet to swing the bat. 2 outs, top of the first, 2 on, 1-1 to Abreu. Swung on and missed, the slider dips below the bat. Count is 1-2. And now a pitch low, misses, 2-2 the count. White Sox need to start figuring out how to get those runs in early. They seem to have lost that mojo in the last week or so. This one picked up and lifted into center field. Tailing back, it will be caught. Wasn't a hard play to make in center field. Abreu flies out. So the Sox get 2 on, including a hit by Yoan Moncada. Midway through the first, though, there's no score. Dallas Keuchel takes the mound, looking for a good start. 15 of them so far. He's 6-4 with a 4.59 ERA. Over 82 1/3 innings, he's given up 84 hits and 31 walks. He's struck out 75. He has a whip of 1.40, the worst amongst the starting staff. For a guy that was a big free agent acquisition, expected to be up towards the top of your rotation, it has been disappointing so far. .272 hitting. Jose Ramirez going to lead off against the lefty. He fouls this one off down the first base line. He's 5 for 15 lifetime against Keuchel. Keuchel got shelled the last time out in Houston. Line drive to third. Moncada's got it. Grabs it out of the air. First out of the inning. Cesar Hernandez, the second baseman, comes to the plate. He's got 10 stolen bases. Second on his team. He's hitting .256. First pitch, a strike on the inside corner. Slider. Found the perfect location there. 0-1 the count. Going around the horn, behind the plate today is McCann. First base is Abreu, as that pitch is outside. Mendick is at second. Short is Anderson. Third is Moncada. Left is Garcia. Center is Robert. Right is Nomar Mazara, as that one is sent out into left field for a base hit. Jimenez gets it in quickly. It's a single. So with one out, Hernandez is on. Grandal keeps his bat in the lineup as a DH today, but rests the knees. So Renteria deciding if he's going to have to lose Jimenez in the lineup, he doesn't want to also lose Grandal on his rest day, as the runner was going there and it was popped back by Lindor. So Hernandez tried to go first pitch, but now it's 0-1. Big lead that time, but he doesn't take off. Swing and a miss by Lindor. 0-2 the count. Now a pickoff move to first base. The runner goes back. Counts 0-2, one out, bottom of the first inning. Lindor, in the right-handed batter's box, hits this one off the inside portion of the bat. Can of corn for Robert in center field. He'll make the catch. The runner will retreat back to first base. There's two gone, and here comes Franmil Reyes. 242 with 17 home runs and 43 RBI. He's got a .329 on base percentage. Does he strike out a lot? Yeah. Does he walk a lot? He's doing very well in that category as well. He's got 17 home runs. 0-1 as that pitch hits the outside corner. Keuchel's next one, high and tight, call the ball. 1-1 the count. Dallas looks in to James McCann. Back over to first. And now comes home. This one is sent out in the left field. Garcia will take it as it bounces off the wall. Runner coming around third is going to head in. And he will score, and that's a double for Reyes. He hits one off the wall in left field. It's a high wall. No play can be made there. His 7th double of the season. And he drives in a run on the White Sox, as it seems has been a lot over the last week and a half. Trail early. 1-0 here against the Indians. Here's Santana hitting .302 with 7 homers. And a high two-seamer misses. 1-0 the count. The Sox took 2 out of 3 from the Indians earlier in the season. The Indians came back, took 2 out of 3 from us just last week. They won yesterday. They lead the season series 4 games to 3. And we're separated by a game and a half in the standings. So trust me, it matters. 2-0 now to Santana, who had a 3-run home run during the game yesterday, broke it open. Just hit the pole, opposite field, in the right field corner. Runner on second, 2 outs, a run already in here in the first inning. Reyes with a lead off of second. The pitch from Keuchel. Inside pitch misses, 3-0 the count. Keuchel looks in. Back over at Reyes and delivers. Inside pitch called a strike, 3-1. 3-1 count. 2 outs, bottom of the first inning. Santana's hitting .302. He's in the top 5 in on-base percentage in the entire American League. Near .450. Swung on and down the third base line into the netting. 3-2 the count is full. The dumb drum is being banged somewhere in this ballpark. I hate that drum and the drummer. Swung on and missed. The drum can shut up because Keuchel strikes him out and he's out of the inning. He gave up a run on a high fly ball back to the wall. Stayed in the park for a double. After one, we trail 1-0 here in Cleveland. James McCann will lead off the second inning for the White Sox. He's catching today. Grandal in as a DH. Edwin Encarnacion gets a day off. McCann hitting .355. In limited action, stands in. He had a big double down the line in the 9th inning last night that gave the White Sox the opportunity to bring the tying run to the plate with no outs. Unfortunately, Sox went 1-2-3 after that. Brad Hand got his 26th save in 27 attempts. McCann's 1-1 in the count. Carrasco gets him the offer at a changeup low, 1-2. 1-2 count here in the top of the second inning. Sox already trailing 1-0. Inside pitch swung on and missed down at the knees. McCann spins around, looks silly. Second strikeout for Carrasco. There's one gone. Nomar Mazara is going to come to the plate now. Mazara had a nice little game last night starting. He gets a second start in a row. With one out here in the top of the second, he's hitting .211 on the season. First pitch, popped straight back near the stands, and it will be caught behind the plate. Danny Mendick comes to the plate with 2 outs quickly here in this inning. He's got 5 homers and 18 RBI. He's playing second today for Madrigal. Carrasco's on 27 pitches, and Mendick, who's hitting .262, sits in the 8th position of the order. And with nobody on, will take his first hacks of the game. And an outside slider catches the corner, 0-1 the count. A low fastball at the knees called a strike, 0-2. The White Sox currently, over the 3 games leading into this one, have only scored 4 runs. 1 run, no runs, and 3 yesterday. And the 2 in the 8th and 9th inning saved them from an even worse result. Mendick goes down on 3 pitches, swinging an outside fastball. Carrasco has a very clean inning. Midway through the second, we're chasing 1. Dallas Keuchel coming back out. Carlos Santana comes to the plate hitting .240, 14 home runs and 44 RBI. He's currently on an 8-game hitting streak. I'll tell you right now, the Twins have been frustrating at times for the White Sox, but this Indians team has probably caused us the most trouble this year. There's a shift on. Mendick on the other side of second. And an outside pitch goes for a ball, 2-0 quickly to Santana. Now a cut fastball inside outs him, 2-1. 2-1 count. Keuchel back into the wind in the pitch. Outside two-seamer misses, 3-1. Mercado's on deck. Keuchel, pitch number 22 on the way. And it's looped down the first base line. Fair ball rolling into the corner. He hits it to the opposite side of the shift. He's going to get an easy stand-up double. And the leadoff man is on. 10th double of the season for Santana. Here comes Mercado, batting in the 7th spot. He's hitting .300 with 15 home runs and 52 RBI. Keuchel's first pitch, inside fastball, taken for a ball, 1-0. It was close. No outs here in the bottom of the second inning. And an outside two-seamer fouled off, 1-1. Next offering, high and away, 2-1 the count. And now a strike on the inside corner taken, 2-2. Nice change up there. Low and in. 2-2, the count is even. No outs, runner on second here in the bottom of the second inning. That ball's lifted into right center field. It's going to get into the gap. Another run is going to come around and score here. Dallas Keuchel has given up 2 so far and only recorded 3 outs. Jordan Luplow comes to the plate. It's 2-0 Indians here with no outs in the bottom of the second inning. And I think we've reached the point with the White Sox that the starters are going to have to just go out, and if they give up 7 runs, they give up 7 runs at this point. Because the bullpen is no better. And you don't have enough guys every time a starter comes out and gives up 4 or 5 runs. And right now, we don't have any shutdown starters. Reynaldo Lopez, the closest thing to it, which shocks me. An outside changeup misses, 2-1. Already to Luplow's hitting .306. On the road, 19-20 are the White Sox. An incredible home record is the reason why this team is doing so well. They're 15 over 500 at home and 1 under on the road. This one lifted out the right field. Mazara's going to chase it down. 1 gone. Here comes Sandy Leon, the catcher today, hitting .224. Stands in the right-handed batter's box. Pretty good speed on first. The 1-out pitch at the knees, a cut fastball taken for a strike. 0-1 the count. Keuchel, quick look over at the runner. Back to McCann, the pitch. Fouled off, 0-2. Now the 0-2 pitch on the way, swung on and dribbled over to short. Anderson flips to Mendick. Mendick across, gets knocked down on the exchange and throws it even though he's falling to the ground and gets him at first. Great play by Danny Mendick hanging in there. He trots off. Sox trail by 2 though after 2. Family Waterproofing Solutions has all the solutions if you have any problems in your basement, any problems with your window wells, your sump pump, seepage, leaking, foundation issues, you name it, they cover it. Inexpensive, great financing. Local Southside business, family-owned, female-owned, veteran-owned. Portion of the proceeds going to veteran and first responder organizations. Good folks, good people, covering pretty much the entire White Sox listening area, including Northwest Indiana. And Luis Robert comes to the plate hitting .216. He's in the 9th spot today. He leads off this inning with the Sox trailing 2-0. He swings and misses at a fastball right down the middle, 0-1 the count. Robert has provided very good defense and very good speed, but every time the average starts to tick up, he will have a stretch where he falls back down. Having a very difficult rookie season adjusting to major league pitching. He pops this one foul near the stands, and it will be caught by Santana, the first baseman, near the crowd. So there's one gone quickly here in the top of the 3rd inning. And here comes Tim Anderson. He walked in the first, and with 1 out, he's trying to get something going. A low pitch misses, 1-0 the count. You know, the thing about what's going on with the Sox right now is that the team is pressing. Pitchers are trying to be perfect, but you can't be. Hitters are trying to be perfect, but they can't be. Bullpen trying to be perfect, but they can't be. About a week or so ago, when the games would start, you would see the team jumping around the dugout, dancing, being happy. Fly ball in the right field, the dive, he misses. It's going to roll back to the wall. TA coming around second is into third. He has a triple on a misplayed ball. The dive attempt does not work out. It rolls all the way to the wall, and the Sox have a 1-out triple, and Larry Garcia comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the 1st inning, and immediately rifles this one out deep in the right field. Tailing back to the wall. It'll be caught near the wall. Anderson will tag. He heads home, and it's a 2-1 ball game. So the White Sox get a run now, cut the lead in half. TA with the triple, and Garcia sends one immediately out to the wall. Would have liked to have seen that one get up, but the wind blowing in, as we said, probably knocked that one down. It was caught right there against the wall at the warning track. A difficult play to be made for sure. And here's Moncada, 1 for 1 with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd inning. It's 2-1 Indians. He puts this one foul down the first base line, 0-1 the count. Moncada, 2 for 22 now, lifetime against Carrasco. That's right. He was 1 for 21 coming into this game. He hates Carlos Carrasco. And he swings and misses at a slider away, 0-2 the count. Sometimes the guys just got your number. Next pitch inside, a ball, 1-2. 1-2 the count, 2 outs, top of the 3rd. The wind in the pitch, inside misses, 2-2. As Moncada's got it back to even and Carrasco's up to 40 pitches. The next offering, swung on and belted into right center field. Tailing back in between the 2 outfielders, it will be missed. He missed it. He put his glove up. I thought he was going to make the play. It bounces off the wall. Moncada's in the second. It's a double. The center fielder is slowing down there and puts his glove up nonchalantly. And you kind of figure, well, that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. And it goes over his head by about 3-4 feet. Goes off the wall. Misjudged that ball. Moncada's on with a double. And Grandal comes up with 2 outs. And an inside high 4-seam fastball goes for a strike. He's 1 for 5 in this series. Had a monster series in Detroit. was only able to help the team win one game, though, in that. He's 0-1 now to Carrasco as the Sox extend the inning. And an outside pitch misses 1-1. He has 20 home runs, tied for 4th in the American League. Next offering swung on and missed a slider inside, 1-2. Grandal takes a low slider. Count is even now at 2. 2 outs in the top of the third. Sox trailing 2-1 with Moncada on second. The next offering swung on and fouled back. 2-2 the count remains. On deck, Jose Abreu. The look back at second base. Now Carrasco to the plate. Misses outside on a changeup. 3-2 the count is full. Abreu stands on deck hitting .271 with 12 homers. Had a pretty nice day yesterday. After dropping down to the 5 spot, has been struggling as of late. And that pitch is a strike on the outside corner taken by Grandal. It didn't curve the way he thought it was going to curve. Carrasco comes off the mound. 1 run on 3 for the White Sox, 2 on 4 for the Indians. Foundation issues not properly handled can be costly. Family Waterproofing Solutions is owned by Ken, a veteran of the United States Marines, and his wife Maria, making them a veteran-owned business and a female-owned business that will diagnose and repair wet or leaky basements. And while they're located on the Sox side, Family Waterproofing services the entire Chicagoland area and Northwest Indiana. And now, after taking time off to ensure they can do things safely and securely for you, Family Waterproofing is back in business and doing jobs. Plus, part of the proceeds for every job that they do are donated to veteran and first responder organizations who support our frontline defenders. And currently, Sox in the Basement listeners have access to special pricing when they contact Family Waterproofing Solutions now, 708-330-4466, or visit them today at FamilyBasementWaterproofing.com. And we're into the bottom of the third inning, and Jose Ramirez, who led off the first, leads off the bottom of the third. He's 0-1, and Dallas Keuchel immediately gives up 1 out in the right field. Sliding in is Mazara. He slides underneath the ball, misplays it. The ball rolls to the wall, picked up by Robert. A stand-up double for Ramirez as the ball comes in. Nomar Mazara misplayed that ball terribly. And a leadoff double for the Indians. So even when the White Sox get a break, and you saw 2 misplays in the outfield, give them a run and a runner on second, where they were unable to bring in Moncada. Right away, the Sox give it right back. We haven't had any defensive problems, but you see one right there. 2-0 now to Hernandez. Ramirez has pretty good speed. And a pitch across the middle for a strike, 2-1 now. Cesar Hernandez is 1-for-1 in this game. He scored in the first inning. The Indians got another run in the second inning, as Dallas Keuchel is yet to have a clean inning in this game. And the leadoff double doesn't make things easy for him here in the bottom of the third. This one is sent out to left field. It's a base hit. Garcia picks it up and sends it in. It's going to be a close play at home. The play at the plate, he is just past the tag on a throw-in by Garcia. He put it on line, but it wasn't hard enough coming in. It bounces twice coming into the plate. McCann gets a good swipe on. That's really close, but they're going to call him safe. And Keuchel has now given up a run in all 3 of the innings he's pitched in. 3-1 Indians, as Lindor comes to the plate with a runner on first. Lindor is 0-for-1 with a flyout in the first inning. He's 1-for-3 on the series. He collected a couple of walks yesterday. The 0-1 pitch on the way. Fouled off, 0-2. Atlanta leading Washington early in their game in D.C., 2-0. This one sent down the first baseline foul. 0-2 the count. Good speed on board on first. A run already in this inning. Trailing 3-1 are the White Sox. The Indians, as I said earlier, have been a real thorn in the side of White Sox pitchers. Very different level of competition. As a slider inside misses 2-2. In fact, the White Sox, if you look at it, they have the winning record 6-4 against the Twins, but have luckily been able to play 6 games at home and only 4 on the road against Minnesota. They currently are down 4-3 to the Indians. They have played 4 games here in Cleveland, 3 in Chicago. This is their 5th game in Cleveland. An inside slider misses 3-2. The count is full with Reyes on deck. Against the tough competition at the top of the AL Central, essentially the White Sox strong at home and getting beat up on the road by the Indians and the Twins. Twins took 3 out of 4 in their place against us this year. The slider's fouled off, count remains full. Right now the series is tied here in Cleveland, with the Indians taking 2 out of 3 from the Sox at home. Ground ball to short, Anderson over to second, flip back over, Mendick got taken out again and again. He gets it to Abreu, rack him up. Danny Mendick is going to be bruised up, but twice the player has slid directly over second base into him. You can't fault him for that. He's right there in the base path. Mendick has gone down both times on the transfer and somehow gotten the ball over. Anderson with a bad feed there threw the ball at his knees, so he had to scoop it and then get the ball across with the guy barreling down on him, who's very fast. Reyes comes up now, takes a ball outside, 1-0 the count. Dallas Keuchel up to 50 pitches already so far in this game. Inside pitch misses, 2-0. And he's not even through to third. Inefficiency has been one of the real problems with this staff. A 2-0 pitch now on the way. Outside cut fastball misses, 3-0. Domingo Santana stands on deck. And the 3-0 pitch on the way. And it's lined out in the right field. Mazara coming in. He will make the catch this time, sliding feet first. I guess if you try it enough times, eventually you get lucky. So a great play there. But he muffed it earlier in the game on the exact same type of hit with the exact same type of slide. And we trail 3-1. Jose Abreu comes to the plate. He'll lead off this inning. He's 0 for 1. Carlos Carrasco sitting on 48 pitches here starting the 4th inning. So both pitchers have thrown a lot of pitches so far through 3. Carrasco, though, has a 3-1 lead. It was the same thing last night. You had both Giolito and Mike Clevenger struggling with their control, throwing a lot of pitches. But by the time you got to Kopech and McKenzie, the long relievers, they had the lead. Base hit out in the left field for Abreu, a nice clean one, dropping in front of the charging outfielder. He's got a leadoff hit, and I'm going to tell you something right now, dropping him down to the 5 spot has done him wonders. He still has good protection behind him, and James McCann is that protection today. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the 2nd inning. First pitch on the outside corner, a slider taken for a strike, 0-1 the count. It's a final already in Minnesota. The Yankees have taken their 2nd straight game of that weekend series, 9-6. So the Twins are losing with a chance to catch up with them. It's the Indians that are capitalizing so far against the Sox instead of the way that we wanted it. A wild pitch now gets away, and Abreu hustles 90 feet over to second base. So we got a runner on second now and a 1-1 count to McCann with no outs in the top of the 4th. Sox looking to put a few hits together here in this inning. Inside pitch misses, 2-1. Now an inside pitch sent down the third base line. It is hooking near the stands. He will leap and make the play right along the left field stands. It's a long fly out in foul territory for McCann, and there's one gone, and here comes Mazara, 0 for 1. First pitch, last time up, he popped it back behind the plate for the out. This time, takes a 2-seamer outside, 0-1 the count. He's actually hitting .306 with runners in scoring position. So the really poor average, it changes when he's got a guy he can knock in. What an odd stat. He's 100 points better with a guy in scoring position. He's 0-2 in the count. Abreu with the lead. And the 0-2 pitch with one out on the way from Carrasco. And he swings and misses at that one. A four-seamer in the zone. Low and inside. 3 pitches. And a 5th strikeout for Carrasco. There's 2 gone. Here comes Mendick. He struck out the first time up. Only took 3 pitches in the second inning. It's hitting .260 now. First offering, low and away, a slider, 1-0 the count. Abreu had a leadoff single, advanced to second on a wild pitch. All of this with no outs. Now there's 2 gone. He's still there. Next pitch swung on down the third base line, foul ball. 1-1. Now an inside pitch sent down the third base line, deep and foul. 1-2 the count to Mendick. Carrasco up to 60 pitches. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. A low one. Called the ball. 4-seamer. 2-2 the count is even. The next offering swung on and dribbled towards second base. Slow roller. Tough play. Mendick unable to beat it there though. 4-3 put out. And the inning is over. Midway through the 4th. The offense still sputtering here in Cleveland. Trailing 3-1. Dallas Keuchel back on the mound, 53 pitches. Here in the bottom of the 4th, pitch number 54, a strike above the knees to Domingo Santana, who's 0 for 1. Keuchel has given up a run in each one of the first 3 innings that he's pitched. He has also given up 6 hits in this game so far. Struck out 1, no walks yet. It's 0-2. Santana fouls that one off, and now the next offering lifted out in the right field. Mazara trails back near the wall, will make the catch. About 365 feet out there in the right field. And Santana comes to the plate. Carlos Santana's 1 for 1. He has a double in this game. Keuchel, with 1 out, gets in the foul back a 2-seamer, 0-1 the count. Now a 2-seamer on the outside corner misses, 1-1. 3-1 Indians, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-seamer fouled back, 1-2 the count. Keuchel on 60 pitches now, with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Into the wind and the pitch. Misses on the outside corner, 2-2. The 2-2 offering misses low, a cut fastball. The count is full at 3-2. And now a ground ball back up the middle. Scooped by Mendick over to first. Nice play. Danny Mendick really playing well back there at second base today. Has made some very good plays. Turned 2 double plays with guys right on top of him. Made a great play there up the middle. First pitch. Lifted out into center field. Can of corn for Robert. And a good inning for Keuchel finally. He trails 3-1, but it's time for this offense to come through at their end of the bargain. We are in the top of the 5th inning, the DP3 Tech 5th inning. Luis Roberts 0 for 1 with a pop out down the first base line in foul territory. Already in this game. Took yesterday off. He's back out there now. Carrasco sitting on 62 pitches. Throws an inside slider for a strike. 0-1. It was low and in there. DP3 Tech partnered with Microsoft, and now you can take your entire system for your business, big or small, whatever system it is, because that's a swing and a miss and a low outside pitch, 0-2. And you can basically set it up inside of their cloud-based service securely, and people can work from anywhere. Office, home, road, whatever the schedule is. One touch, get them on the line. Get them on the screen. Share files. You don't need to have a Google Sales account and keep track of your Zoom membership. Forget all that. Have your own system. They set it up for you, and it's not that expensive because of the way that they partnered up with Microsoft to use the cloud. Ground ball down the third base line, just foul, 1-2 to Robert at this point. Now he swings and misses at a slider outside. He's down on strikes. 1 gone here in the top of the 5th. Do yourself a favor, details coming up about DP3 Tech and what they can do for you, a local Southside business, helping those all around the world. And here's Tim Anderson. He's 1 for 1. He has a triple and a run scored. He puts this one immediately down the third base line, knocked down by Ramirez. He gets up, but he can't get Anderson, who beats it. It's going to be called a base hit, infield hit for TA. And with one out, he's on, and Larry Garcia is coming to the plate. Garcia's 0 for 1. He had a sac fly to knock in Anderson the last time up. First pitch lifted weakly down the third base line. It will not get out of play and will be caught by Ramirez. So quickly, there's 2 gone. And Moncada's 2 for 2 with a double and a single comes to the plate. So runner on first, 2 outs, top of the 5th inning, Sox down by 2. Here's Yohan Moncada. Anderson takes off on the first pitch, swing and a miss. Down the second base, he is out. And Moncada was swinging at that pitch. It was so high, that was a hit and run call. So the Sox try the hit and run, and Moncada can't get the bat on it. New challenges bring new technology. DP3 Tech has partnered with Microsoft to make things easier on you and your business. Imagine being able to get everybody together in a nice, easy, user experience friendly meeting room and being able to share whatever you want in the room with just one click. You can migrate from old legacy on-premises equipment right now to flexible, secure, work-from-home friendly cloud services. Bring your group together faster, better, easier. Find out what DP3 Tech can do for you. Contact their cloud migrations team today, 312-896-2450, or email info@dp3tech.com. Anderson was safe. That was a bad call at second. The replay at the end of the inning shows it. He's clearly got the arm in there, and he's on the bag before the swipe tag. So a bad call at second base hurts the White Sox, and now we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the first pitch to Jordan Luplow is way out of here, 404 feet. When it rains, it pours on these White Sox. The bad call ends the inning. The first pitch from Keuchel here in the bottom of the 5th makes it a 4-1 lead for the Indians. Sandy Leon will come to the plate now. 4-1 Cleveland lead. They have put up 1 run in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and now the 5th inning where there are still no outs after the solo home run. Dallas Keuchel sitting on 66 pitches. He will not get a quality start. Another poor outing for him. And at this point, at least early on, not a very good pickup for the White Sox. Now, I know it's a sim, and I don't get what's happening with the 2 guys at the top of the order, but Giolito and Keuchel, who are supposed to be your 1 and 2 guys, are your 2 worst pitchers on your staff right now. Bar none, if we had to win a game and I could pick any one of these guys, I would go back and forth on whether or not I want Reynaldo Lopez or Gio Gonzalez to start that game. And after those 2, it's Cease. Keuchel and Giolito, if not for the fact that they had the name and the pedigree, would probably get bounced out of the rotation at this point from Michael Kopech. And it can only last for so long before you actually do something like that. Now, you have a lot of money invested in Dallas Keuchel, and you believe in Lucas Giolito. If it was Cease, you'd be like, he didn't make the cut. Gio Gonzalez, you're not worried about that. It's 3-2 now to Leon, the 9-hitter. And Reynaldo Lopez, we expected him to fall out. But those are the guys that are pitching the best. And that's what's frustrating right now about the 2020 White Sox here on Sox in the Basement. Leon's going to walk, and I would think at this point, Ricky Renteria is just going to sit there and let Keuchel pitch. There comes a point where you're like, hey, you're a starting pitcher. You got to go more than 4 innings. And none of these guys can do it lately. Everybody's leaving in the 5th inning, maybe in the 6th, over the last week or so. Nobody can go deep into a game. And a cut fastball misses inside, and he's 1-0. Ramirez up, 1 for 2. And, you know, I've enjoyed doing these broadcasts, and I'm going to keep doing them, but I'm going to tell you something right now. This sucks. This team is terrible right now. They won 12-4 the other night against Detroit, and then two really subpar pitchers kept them the one run over 2 games, while the pitching staff could do nothing. And that one, of course, is ripped down the first base line, fair ball in the corner. It's a hit parade every single game. The starters are atrocious. The bullpen is a mixed bag of nuts as Don Cooper comes out here. I don't know what he's going to say to him. 78 pitches, he's first and third with no outs here in the fifth, and he already gave up a home run. He's trailing 4-1. Cesar Hernandez comes in. The offense has been brutal. The pitching has been brutal. There's nothing working on this team right now. And to feel like we had that great run of 9 straight, we got within a game and a half of the Twins. And now we're just getting our clocks cleaned every night out there. We look like a team in a rebuild again. You could just see it. From the moment that Game 2 started with Detroit, something was different. Pitches not finding the zone anymore. Every pitcher's wild. 1-2 to count out of Hernandez. Nobody can go deep into a count, and the offense sputters. Deep fly ball out in the center field. Robert's going to make the play, but the runner's going to probably come home. He will. No chance at him. It's cut off. It's a 5-1 ball game. Dallas Keuchel with yet another bad start. There's one gone here in the bottom of the 5th, and a runner on first. Francisco Lindor is 0-2 with a fly out and a ground out. Hitting .295. Good speed on board over at first base. Keuchel throws one low and away, 1-0 the count. Now an inside pitch fouled off, 1-1. Lindor 0-2. Runner on first base. And an inside pitch misses, 2-1 the count. Carson Fulmer, Evan Marshall warming up in the bullpen. As a very, very difficult road trip so far for the White Sox. They have won 1 game on this road trip. They have won 2 games on this road trip. They have lost 5. They have this game and tomorrow before they can get home. Even if they could come back in this game and win tomorrow, you have a losing road trip. But now we're bordering on a disastrous road trip. Inside pitch lifted out in left field. Underneath it, Leury Garcia makes the catch, 2 gone. Franmil Reyes is 1-2. He's got a double and an RBI. He's hitting .244 with 17 home runs and 44 RBI. Comes to the plate with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 5-1 Indians. And a low 2-seamer misses, 1-0 the count. White Sox were up to 18 games over 500 just recently. They are sliding backwards quickly, though. They fell in the 3rd place the other day, and now the Indians, head-to-head with them, are trying to pull away. Strike on the outside corner, 2-1 the count now to Reyes. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. I would expect this to be the last inning for Dallas Keuchel. 91 pitches so far. But this one's fouled off. 2-2. Into the wind and the pitch. Lifted deep. Curving near the pole. And luckily gets out of play. The count is now even at 2. An outside pitch misses. The count is full. Domingo Santana stands on deck. Keuchel with the 3-2 payoff pitch on the way. Misses low and he walked him. So now there's 2 on with 2 out. And they've seen enough. Renteria is going out to his bullpen. And that's it. Dallas Keuchel's done. Carson Fulmer's going to come into the game. You see him grabbing his stuff. There's nothing good you can say about Dallas Keuchel's last few starts. Nothing at all. Absolutely brutal. If there was one pitcher of all the starters that you could say is the worst during this run, it is clearly Dallas Keuchel. And Fulmer comes in with 30 innings pitched and a 3.30 ERA. He's done it over 17 games. Got a 1-3 record, 41 strikeouts to 14 walks. Righty's hitting .214 against him. Lefty's hitting .266. He'll come in with 2 on and 2 out. His team trailing by 4 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch high, a ball. because, of course, I mean, the whole staff is always working behind the count. 1-0 the count. Fulmer checks the lead runner at second and delivers. A low changeup misses 2-0. Now this one fouled off down the first base line. Count is 2-1. Next pitch, a strike. 2-2 the count. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Fulmer gets him. Nice piece of pitching there. He comes off the mound, and the White Sox trail this game by 4. So in the end, the Sox able to escape. Could have been a lot worse. But after 5, they've given up 5 and trail 5-1. Top of the 6th inning, and Yoan Moncada will lead off. He's 2 for 2, hitting in the 3 spot today. And a high 4-seam fastball misses 1-0 the count. Adam Cimber warms up in the bullpen. We torched him when we saw him in Chicago. I would love it if they put him in. That would be a gift right now, as Carrasco has 71 pitches here in the top of the 6th. And a high 4-seamer misses 2-0 the count. On deck, Grandal. After him, Abreu. Outside pitch misses 3-0. So Moncada trying to get on the lead off this inning as the Sox have to start chipping away now at a 4-run deficit. They did that last night and came up short. They were down 5-1, scored 2 late, but were unable to come back in the 9th inning with a tying run at the plate and no outs. 3-1 now to Moncada as that one's fouled off. And now he rips this one. Oh, a line drive caught in shallow right field. The shift was on, and Cesar Hernandez gets it out on the outfield grass. Moncada tosses his helmet. He's disgusted. Here's a guy that during this entire team slump has been hitting, along with the guy at the plate right now in Yasmani Grandal. If you look at the offensive woes, Tim Anderson has had some rough times. We have not seen a lot of hits coming out of Edwin Encarnacion. Jose Abreu was in the dumps until just recently. Eloy Jimenez, who's not even playing today, having trouble. In the bottom of the order, not getting those little hits they were getting before. As Grandal is 1-1 in the count, 0 for 2 in this game, and he fouls off a changeup 1-2. Renteria shuffles the lineup yesterday and today. So far, it's produced 4 runs. And when you sit there and think, well, that's not a lot, it's even better than what they had coming into it over the few games leading in. Swing and a miss. Grandal's down, 7th strikeout for Carrasco. He's gotten him a couple times. And Jose Abreu comes to the plate. And answers need to be found here as this team dreams of guaranteed rate field. A very, very rough road trip. Sometimes teams come together on a road trip. Sometimes they get their clocks cleaned, and that's what's been going on here with the White Sox. They're back at home on Monday, and not a moment too soon. But it'd be nice to be able to come back in this game and or salvage tomorrow. Can't be over, and that's the problem. You feel like the air is getting let out of this team, and they're accepting these losses, and that's got to be on the manager and the coaches. You gotta keep your team going there, and the leaders in the clubhouse. And right now, there's nothing going on right now with this team. They're flat. Their heads are down. There's a few guys playing hard. There's some guys that are doing nothing. Some guys are pressing here. Abreu's 1 for 2. He's 2-1 in the count after he fouls that one off down the third base line here with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Ground ball down the first base line. Foul. 2-2. The power is missing. That's one thing. And not only the home runs, but the extra base hits. Outside slider misses 3-2. McCann's on deck. The next offering, swung on and back up the middle. It's a base hit. Jose Abreu 2 for 3 now in this game. He had a nice day yesterday. He had been struggling mightily. He got dropped down on the order and started to find his groove. He's now 3rd on the team in hits with 81. And he's on with 2 outs. So the team is struggling, and a lineup needs to be found that will capitalize on those that are hitting well and get the other guys going again. James McCann at the plate, 0 for 2. showed life last night with that double down the line. And in limited action, hitting .347 with 4 homers and 12 RBI. 0-1 on a strike on the inside corner. The next offering on the way. Outside misses, 1-1 the count. He's hitting .545 in the last 8 games that he's played. Carrasco up to 87 pitches now with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. I would expect Carson Fulmer to return in the bottom of the 6th inning. And inside pitch misses, high and inside, 2-1 the count. And now low with a changeup, 3-1 with Mazara waiting on deck. Nomar not looking very good at the plate today. The 3-1 pitch on the way. Misses outside and he walked him, so with 2 outs, there's 2 on. And up comes Nomar Mazara. Now Mazara is one of those guys that might get a hold of one. That's almost what you're looking for here. He's got 6 home runs and 23 RBI. He hits over 300 with runners in scoring position, like right now with Abreu at second. But he's hitting just above 200 for the season. And a high pitch misses, 1-0 the count. He is hitting, though, .333, 5 for 15 in his last 6 games. So there are signs of life, although he's 0 for 2 today. That pitch fouled off a changeup, 1-1 the count. A low and inside pitch. He fights it off. It was in the zone. He moves a lot in that batter's box. Outside pitch misses, 2-1. He's rocking. The bat is moving up and down. The head is moving. The arms are moving. A lot of motion in the batter's box. 2-1 pitch fouled back. That would have been ball 3. He went for one that was a little low, a slider inside. Count is even at 2. 2 outs still here in the top of the 6th. 94 pitches for Carrasco. Now is the time. Swung on and down the first base line. Oh, he snagged it. Santana gets it behind the bases. That was going to be extra bases and runs scoring there. The White Sox can't buy a break right now and trail midway through the 6th, 5-1. If it weren't for bad luck, the Sox would have no luck at all this week. Carlos Santana now comes to the plate after a brilliant play at first base. He's 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored in this game. That was easily a double down the line. It would have played at Abreu. It would have likely gotten the trailing runner McCann over to third. But he wouldn't have scored. Sox have left so many men on base. They cannot get that 2-out hit when they need it. It has been the story of the entire road trip. As a high 4-seamer misses, 1-1 now to Santana from Fulmer, who finished off the 5th inning for Keuchel and starts the 6th, trailing 5-1. Inside pitch called a strike, 1-2. Next pitch is high, a 4-seamer, 2-2 the count. Sox have Aaron Bummer tossing. He hasn't been in a game in a while. Jace Fry has had a few appearances, so Bummer is clearly the lefty if they need one. Curveball, inside, call the ball, 3-2. Mercado hitting .301 with 15 homers and 53 RBI stands on deck. Next offering, swung on and missed. He got him. Inside pitch. Fulmer comes in further than the bat. He ties him up. He is now struck out both batters that he's faced. Here's Mercado, 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Fulmer into the wind of the pitch. Outside corner, 4-seamer catches the zone. 0-1 the count. The 0-1 pitch into the wind, fouled off. 0-2. Mercado has 93 hits so far this season. He leads his team. Against righties, he's up at the top of the order. Lefties, they drop him down. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Fulmer has struck out all 3 now that he's faced. A low outside curveball. And here's a guy that's been figuring it out. And maybe the problem is the White Sox just have guys they were depending on. You know, your 1 and your 2 starters are letting you down, but your bottom guys have overall been good. Your closer, he fell apart. But you found a Steve Cishek to be very reliable. Some other guys lower down are pitching. And at some point, you don't sacrifice a bunch of wins for people's egos. You can't play, you're not playing. I should say, if you can't play well, you're not playing. 1-1 the count out of Luplow. Hit a home run way out in the left field against Keuchel the last time he was up in the 5th inning. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Change up right down the middle. Taken for a strike, 1-2. Good movement right now on Fulmer's pitches. He's thrown 17 pitches. He has struck out all 3 batters that he's faced. And he's got a 1-2 count here. Swing and a miss, he struck him out too. Carson Fulmer struck out 4 in a row since coming in. He wants to play. He wants his team back in the game. After 6, we're trailing by 4. The offense needs to wake up. Adam Cimber is coming in. Aren't you a sight for sore eyes, Adam? 3-2 record, 8 holds, 26 1/3 innings, and an ERA of 2.39, but the White Sox lit him up when they saw him in Chicago. We need a little bit of that magic right now as Danny Mendick stands in, 0 for 2. Just because we got to him before doesn't mean we'll get to him now, but it's nice to see a guy that we were able to get to the last time. Cimber, the last time we saw him, gave up a 3-run home run for the Sox to take the lead late to Yasmani Grandal. He's a sidearm pitcher. Righties are going to have trouble with him, like Danny Mendick right now, who's 0-2 in the count. Now this one rifled out to left field, a base hit for Mendick. He's actually a submarine pitcher as you're looking at that. Cimber, the righty submariner, gives up a single to Danny Mendick. So we got speed on board, leading off this inning, and here comes Robert. Robert's been struggling. He's 0 for 2. I don't know what he's going to do against a pitcher like this. You don't see these guys very often. That's a 4-seamer high and away called a strike in the zone. 0-1 to Robert. The 0-1 pitch. Robert squares and lays down a bunt, pushes it towards second base. They're going to drop the ball at second. Hernandez can't get a grip. He's on safely. He tried to barehand it. Comes out of his hand as he tries to pick it up. It's going to be ruled a hit. So he bunts his way on. There's 2 on now with no outs in the top of the 7th inning. And here comes TA, who's 2 for 2. So the Sox have something stirring here in the top of the 7th with Anderson at the plate, Mendick at second, Robert at first. Lots of speed right now on the base paths. Swing and a miss at a slider low and away. 0-1 the count. 0-1 pitch, ground ball to the pitcher. He's going to send it over to second, back over to first. They're going to double off Robert and Anderson on a dribbler back to Cimber. So the Sox have something stirring, and then quickly the Sox do not. They do have a runner on third base in Mendick, but now there's 2 outs. And this is just typical White Sox baseball over the last week and a half. Squandering every opportunity to get after a pitcher on the mound and letting them settle in by hitting into double plays, striking out on bad pitches, and swinging at first pitches and popping them up. Runner on third now with 2 outs, and Garcia comes to the plate. The first pitch, a sinker, taken for a strike. He's able to hit lefty, so he matches up well against Cimber, who has difficulties with left-handed batters, but now a swing and a miss at a slider low and in, and he's 0-2. Garcia had been red hot. They got him into the lineup, and he cooled off like everybody else. 0-2 the count. Runner on third. That pitch misses low, 1-2. On deck is Yoan Moncada. Down the third base line, foul ball. Count remains 1-2. The next offering on the way. Swung on and fouled back, an outside pitch. It was up in the zone. With a submarine pitcher, you're waiting for that mistake where it comes right up down the middle that you can hit. Throws that one low and in, and the call goes Garcia's way, 2-2 the count on a slider at the knees. And now this one sent down the first base line into the stands. Out in right field, foul. 2-2 the count. Next offering, inside, he swung and missed at ball 3. Gets himself tied up on a pitch nowhere near the zone and almost hit him. Ugly at bat for Garcia. And midway through the 7th, 5-1 Indians. Aaron Bummer's going to come out, pitch this inning here in the bottom of the 7th. 38 games, 39 innings, 2.08 ERA, 57 strikeouts to 8 walks. He's a really good pitcher. He gets Sandy Leon first. He'll throw a strike, cut fastball high, 0-1 the count. Carson Fulmer, really good in relief. Comes in and gets 4 outs on 4 strikeouts. And now he hands it over to Bummer. A foul ball after a pitch in the dirt makes it 1-2. As Aaron takes the hat off, fixes some dirt on the mound. Pretty good crowd here tonight. Lots of people standing on the concourse. The 1-2 pitch, fouled off on an inside cut fastball, it remains 1-2. Now, a sinker low and in, fouled back, and the count remains the same. Leon is 0 for 1. He grounds this one to second base. Mendick is going to scoop over the first. 4-3 put out. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 7th. You think about the last inning, the frustration of it. Danny Mendick comes in, gets a hard hit single on an 0-2 pitch. Robert, with already 1 strike, lays down a perfect bunt right at the second baseman that dies in the grass, and he gets the first. You got 2 on, good speed, no outs, and Tim Anderson comes up and hits into a double play. And I don't want it to be the rag on Tim Anderson show, but he has been very, very difficult to watch over the last couple of games. All kinds of guys stranded on the base paths yesterday in a game that was winnable. Difficulties in Detroit. And then he hits into the double play that ruins an inning that's developing. Now Bummer is going to walk the next batter. The leadoff hitter Ramirez goes down the first. There's 1 gone here in the bottom of the 7th, and here comes Cesar Hernandez. Looking around the league, San Diego having a bad day in Colorado, losing 9-1. Glad we're done with those games. The Rockies were tough on us. He lost 3 out of 4 against Colorado this year. 0-1 the count now. This one's grounded over to third. Slow roller Moncada over to second. Mendick turns it. Oh, he has been brilliant over there. Another guy rolls into him and he doesn't care. Comes off the mound with his fist in the air. He knows it. He has been a warrior out there at second base today. End of 7, 5-1 the Sox trail. Phil Maton comes on, 3 games, 2 innings. 3 strikeouts, no walks. Only lefties have been able to get hits off them. He hasn't given up an earned run, although he was on the mound yesterday with an inherited runner that was driven in against him. Yoan Moncada comes up 2 for 3 against the righty pitcher to lead off the top of the 8th, and the first pitch is sent deep out into right field. It is not going to get out. Back near the track, it will be caught, and there's 1 gone. So unfortunately, Moncada liked that pitch, but it wasn't good enough. And here comes Grandal for 3 in this game with a strikeout in the 6th inning. Average down to 298. Number 24 for the White Sox. Stands in with 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning and a deficit of 4. That pitch swung on and missed, 0-1 the count. The 0-1 pitch swung on, sent out into right center field. It's going to hang up there too long. It'll be caught, and there's 2 gone here in the top of the 8th inning. Here's Abreu hitting 2 for 3 with 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. And an inside fastball hits the zone, 0-1 the count. Tomorrow it'll be Dylan Cease on the mound. He has been very good all year. He had a rough start last time out, but I wouldn't compare what's going on with him in the same way that I would compare it to Keuchel and Giolito lately. Swing and a miss at a slider away, 0-2 to Abreu, who's 2 for 3 today. Slider away. This Maton, up from the minor leagues. They're finding the right spots to put him in, and he's pitching very well. He gets Abreu swing and a miss. The 3-4-5 hitters go down 1-2-3 for the White Sox. Not good. Midway through the 8th, still chasing 4. Francisco Lindor will lead off this inning. He is 0 for 3. Aaron Bummer is going to remain out on the mound to start the inning here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 12 pitches last inning, and he will start off the bottom of the 8th as well with a low inside sinker, 0-1 the count. Next pitch, low and away, swung on and missed, 0-2. Bummer working quickly. Now he hits Lindor on the shoulder. Why not? You know, not intentional, but he hit him. Here comes Franmil Reyes, 1 for 2. A low inside sinker misses. 1-0 the count. 29,545 in attendance today. As Indian fans must be really enjoying this. The White Sox have stayed out in front of this team for the first half of the season. And as we near the All-Star break, the Indians have been able to overtake them. They took 2 out of 3 in Chicago. And now a week later, on the cusp of taking the first 2 of this 3-game set. There's a flat White Sox team out there that's not doing very well. And a high outside cut fastball misses 3-1 now from Bummer. Domingo Santana waits on deck. There is motion in the bullpen. Marshall's up. He's warming. Also Tayron Guerrero. 3-1 pitch driven deep. Reyes knows it's gone. He flips the bat. It's 7-1. Out of here at 429 feet. Aaron Bummer gives up a 2-run home run to Franmil Reyes. The Sox continue to get beat up by the Cleveland Indians and the rest of the American League Central while they're on this road trip. When the road trip began, the White Sox were the number 1 wild card team in the standings. The Astros were right behind them, and the Indians were out of the picture. The Sox are out of the picture now, chasing the wild card spot. The Astros took 2 out of 3 from the White Sox in Houston. Detroit takes 2 out of 3, a series that makes no sense to me. And now the Indians beating us up in Game 2 after winning Game 1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Domingo Santana's up. He's 2-2 already in the count from Bummer. The next offering on the way. Misses outside, 3-2. Carlos Santana stands on deck. As on an overcast day here, as it gets closer to evening, the Indians are making a statement against the White Sox, unfortunately. We have made our statements. We have been high. But this is the lowest point in the season, I would say, so far. We have never lost 4 games in a row. We are about to do that. And we are in disarray as a team. And the Sox are going to bring in Tayron Guerrero. They're going to take another look at him. The kid has not done very well. But in a blowout, Renteria wants to know what he has, because if he can't have a clean inning, if he can't pitch well out there, then he can't be on this team. He came up for Kelvin Herrera, who had been terrible. So far, he's proven to be just as bad. And immediately gives up 1 out in the right field, tailing back. Mendick can't get to it. It's a base hit. Runner is out at second base, though. He hesitated. So luckily, as the ball went over Mendick's head, Mazara grabbed it with one hand and threw it immediately to second base and gets the force out on a runner hung up between first and second, waiting to see what happened on that play. So there's an out that comes Guerrero's way, but not because of his pitching. And up comes Oscar Mercado, who's 1 for 3 with a single and an RBI. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The pitch on the way. Swung on and over the head of Abreu down into the corner. It's going to be extra bases. A double. The runner advances to third. And this kid's head back to the minor leagues, I would imagine. He was up here for a week. He's had 3 appearances, and he can't get an out. Sox need to find somebody to bring up. Eventually you get Rodon, but he's not ready yet. You could go back to Cordero, who's gone back down to the minor leagues and may have figured it out. He's got pretty good stats at this point since losing his job. You're not going back to Herrera right away. He needs to work out some things. You could go for another option down there. It's the one thing the White Sox lack here, and it makes sense. The 2020 White Sox do not have depth in the bullpen yet. The bullpen is still being built. They are going to have a much better bullpen this year, and you can manage the bullpen differently, as now Guerrero hits the next batter, Luplow. And that's okay with me, because Luplow hit that home run, but he's not trying to hit him. He's just a bad pitcher. And the bases are loaded now. The Sox are going to let this kid pitch because he got himself into this jam. Let's see him get out of it. Every runner on there is his. Aaron Bummer gives up a 2-run home run to start the 8th inning here. Now the bases are loaded. 7-1. I know most of you have probably turned off the game, but if you're still here, God bless you. I don't know what to tell you here. I know that we haven't messed with anything that has to do with the simulation. I know that we do not have harder settings on. I know that we are running the team the same way. We had this weird thing with the umpires. We seem to have been able to fix that by making some adjustments. So the calls are going the right way. But this slide happened well before that. You're just able to put that into place, and we're like, okay, well, maybe at least they'll get a fair shake. Ground ball over to third. Moncada near the line. Sends it around the horn. A great play saves the youngster. He better go say thank you. But a terrible inning by him, let's be honest. Terrible inning. McCann comes in. He's 0 for 2. Maton stays out there. First pitch, fastball. Taken for a strike, 0-1 the count. It'll be James. Then it'll be Nomar Mazara and Danny Mendick. Ground ball over to second, fielded. Sent over to first, 4-3 put out, 1 gone. Sox are 2 outs away from dropping yet another game, 4 in a row. And 8 of their last 11. It hurts to say that. The White Sox have dropped 8 of their last 11 games. They are currently 12-8 in their last 20 because of that big 9-game winning streak. But they have lost all the ground and then some that they picked up during that streak. Before the streak, they weren't in third. Before the streak, they were 6 games back. The only good news is that the Twins are losing, so they're not going to drop the 7 back, but this is just ugly right now, and it may be something that can't be recovered from. Ground ball, knocked down, over to first. An amazing play by Francisco Lindor back in the outfield grass. He gets a standing ovation. Everything going the Indians' way. Everything going against the White Sox. And Mazara's retired. 2 gone here in the top of the 9th inning. The final batter is Danny Mendick, who's played his heart out today and doesn't really deserve to be the guy that makes the final out. Takes a ball low, 1-0 the count. He has made some great double play turns. Been knocked down 3 times out there. Had a big hit. Looked like he was starting off a very big 7th inning. Tim Anderson muffed that up. He's 2-0 in the count. Next pitch, lifted out in the right field. When this ball comes down, this game will be over. No, he dropped it. Coming in. Is that going to be a drop or is that going to be a base hit? The official scorer is going to call it a base hit because he was running in and it dropped in front of his glove, but I'm going to tell you right now, the ball goes just to the left of his glove. He made it there. He missed the ball. Mendick's on. So Roberts up now with 2 outs and takes the first pitch and lifts it out into center field. It will tail back and be caught on the track, and this ball game's over. The Sox have lost 8 out of their last 11 games and are in a tailspin. The first taste of adversity for this team all year long. They have 1 more game on the road before they can head back home. They've had a disappointing road trip so far. 2-6 on the road. Trying to salvage one tomorrow against the Indians. They have now lost their 4th straight series and their 4th straight game. And once again, 1 run. The totals after over the last 4 games: 1 run, no runs. 3 runs, 1 run. From a team that has been one of the best offensive teams in the league. And meanwhile, we can't find a starting pitcher, with the exception of Reynaldo Lopez, who can get a quality start. And that has been going on now for really the last 11 days, where they are 3-8. Dallas Keuchel takes the loss. 4 2/3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 1 strikeout, 2 walks, 5 earned runs. Carlos Carrasco takes the win. 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, 1 earned run. Sox strand more than 10 again. In fact, they have been stranding double-digit runners all week long. Franmil Reyes is the player of the game, another guy to hit a home run off us. Timmy Anderson goes 2 for 3 with a triple and a run score, but couldn't get a hit when he needed it. That's been a problem. Yo-Yo Moncada 2 for 4 with a double. Abreu 2 for 4. Mendick 2 for 4. This game is over. There's nothing else to say about it. We'll see what happens tomorrow as the Sox try to win one and get back to Guaranteed Rate Field, where they have to pick up the pieces of a terrible road trip to date, with only one more game left to go. My name is Chris Lanuti. Thanks for listening to Sox in the Basement as we simulate the 2020 season. Look, you know it's a real simulation when your team goes in the dumps because every team does it. We're going through it right now, and hopefully we can pull out of it soon. The Sox drop another one. Thank you very much to our sponsors, Cork and Carry at the Park. They're open now at 33rd and Princeton. Get the recap, SoxOn35th.com. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Sox in the Basement, found everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at SoxInTheBasement.com. Bye-bye, everybody.
Sox in the Basement. Sox in the Basement. Sox in the Basement.
Sox in the Basement. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always on SoxInTheBasement.com.